Yo, what is up, guys? My name is GZ, and I'm going to be showing you a build that I use for the Dark Zone on Division. This build is pretty much an easy way to solo it and to survive against rogues if you are running solo. So, I am running with the Vector and the M60. I just did a weapon review on the M60 in the previous video if you want to go check that out. But the real thing here is what perks and talents you're gonna have on your abilities, on like your armor and stuff. So on your mask, you're definitely gonna want I can't talk rehabilitated, so that you can infinitely get heals. Super useful in the dark zone. Easy way to solo it. On your armor, you're going to want Vigorous, which grants overheal to all your healing skills. So if you're on one bar and you pop this skill right here, I forget the name of it, the first aid skill, if you pop this, then it will pretty much bring you all the way back to full health, no problem. On your knee pads, it could be any talent. If you're soloing, I would recommend having Scavenger on it, a high scavenging, so that you can pretty much guarantee you're going to get some decent drops. I still haven't looked into resourceful. I'm not sure if you would really need that on your backpack. I will look into that. I don't think you do. On your gloves, you don't need that. You will want on your gloves though at least critical hit damage and chance, so you can at least get the increase on that. Doesn't matter what else, just critical hit damage and chance. And for the holster, once again, any talent really works. Just the two main talents are Vigorous and Rehabilitated. So going over to the weapons here, we have the Black Market M60E6, and then as well as the Vector, which pretty much does a ton of damage. I would recommend to try and get the Brutal and Destructive perks. It does completely just destroy everything that you get in combat with. My base damage for it is 8k with a 21% crit hit chance, so that's pretty decent. Pistol doesn't matter. This is a crafted M1911 that you can go and craft through the Dark Zone. You buy the blueprint there. For your skills, you're going to want to be running. It can change up. This is mainly for sometimes going rogue, sometimes not. The Zapper really works for anything. I would always recommend having this on. You could always switch out the first aid depending on what you're doing, pulse, smart cover, stuff like that. You're definitely going to want Survivor Link though, because this is pretty much most of your survivability right here is the Survivor Link, since it does reduce your damage by 80%, or the damage taken by 80%, my bad. And when you're going against rogues that have a ton of damage, if you pop that, you can easily take out most of them with the reduced damage. So going over to the modifications, firearms and stamina pretty much on each one. I only have one stamina on the mask and then one firearms. So out of all the pieces of armor, I have 2 staminas, 3 firearms for the extra DPS. If I was to switch it out with stamina, I would have a lot more health, a lot less DPS. I would recommend to keep your firearms above 1900, just in case you have skills just like I have on my M60 here. This does require somewhat decent stuff, at least on my Vector it does. Just like right there, 1889 firearms to get the destructive perk. But apart from that, talents that I would be recommend to be running, are 1 It's None, to pretty much get a 50% chance to get your bullet back. Cover to cover move, damage reduced by 30%. If you need to, you could switch it out. I haven't really found anything better than that right at this time. Kill a hostile while any skill is deployed to extend its active skill duration by 10%. Super useful for anything really, challenge mode as well. And then complete a cover to cover move to increase weapon damage by 2% per meter covered for 10 seconds. This is really like the build. These are the talents that I use for both my challenge mode build and my PvP build. It could always switch up if you want to switch it up. It obviously can switch up, but just remember that if you do ever rehabilitated, then before you go in Dark Zone or anything like that, make sure you throw a shock grenade or something at your feet so that you can activate it. So that if you are in combat, you are always healing up. And yeah, that's about the entire build. I would recommend for attachments, always get headshot damage on either weapon. Magazine size, it's really your choice. I prefer rate of fire and magazine size on all my weapons, so that's just your choice. Critical hit damage on both weapons for the muzzle brake or flash hider. Accuracy, preferably, since you want the less spread on the bullets. And then, depending on which weapon it is, your second attachment could change. Obviously, on here, on both of them, I have hipfire accuracy. I could always switch this out on the M60. I have not found an attachment that is really better right now. But apart from that, that is pretty much the build for PvP soloing in the Dark Zone. It can always change up however you guys want to play it. Um, Always can get more skill power, less DPS, stuff like that. But all I would really say is that I recommend you guaranteed need the 100k health, because if you don't, you're pretty much going to die pretty quickly by anybody, players or NPCs. So always have the 100k health. You could switch around the firearms and the skill power however your build goes. But yeah, that's the build. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.